21 movies over the course of 11 years, and we've done it.
We've ranked them all, and the best MCU film is 2003 Hulk.
Hello, welcome to the fourth act. I'm Alex.
And I'm Phil.
And we're back with our green screen.
Endgame is right around the corner, and what a better way to celebrate than talking about all the MCU films.
That's right, so we've taken on the monstrous task of ranking everything from Iron Man to Captain Marvel in preparation for Endgame. And these are our respective lists, so we will be agreeing and disagreeing, mostly disagreeing on pretty much everything.
Pretty much. For ease of access, we're going to go in theatrical release order, so you don't get to watch the video and find out what we think is number one right away.
That's right. Starting off with the one that started it all off, and that is 2008's Iron Man. Phil, where does that rank for you?
For me, it's number 4.
For me, it is number 5.
Ooh, so we're close.
You have to put this one in the top 5. It should be in everybody's top 5.
It almost wasn't in your top 5.
It almost wasn't in my top 5, but I feel like it needed to, so I switched it. We owe it all to the perfect casting of Robert Downey Jr.
I am Iron Man.
As far as the MCU has come, it's still, you can go back and watch Iron Man, and the moment he flies is just off the charts cool.
Oh yeah, it holds up.
So cool.
It holds up,
It really
and
does.
I don't think it ages. To be honest, I think it still encapsulates everything that we didn't know we wanted or needed in a superhero film in that time and going forward. So Iron Man is definitely up there in our top 5s. And the next MCU film, and not many people know about this, but this was actually the shortest release window of any 2 Marvel films in theaters, and that is The Incredible Hulk.
That's right, 2008's Incredible Hulk.
Where's it on your list?
I like this movie more
But
than
where's
most
it on your
people.
list?
It still is at number 18.
It's number 19, so it's not super high up in mine, but I think we both agree that we want it to be higher.
I think a lot of people are very dismissive about this movie. I would love to see the MCU acknowledge it more.
Yeah.
I would love to see more full circle. I like that they brought Thunderbolt Ross back. I would like to know what happened with Liv Tyler's character.
Yeah.
I mean, even a throwaway line or something.
Something there. But it's hard when you recast the character, and they were still starting out. And not to mention, Universal does own the Hulk in some capacity.
Yeah, they're still tied up in it. I like this movie, though.
I do, too.
I give this movie props because nobody else does.
The favela scene in the beginning is great. I still love watching the first 10 minutes of that movie. It's fantastic.
Não me deixe conforme. Não bang quando eu come. Wait. Oh, that's not right.
From the smallest release window to the biggest release window. There is no movie in 2009. 2010's Iron Man 2 comes out. Phil, where does this rank in your movies?
Number 15.
I have it at number 20.
So we're kind of off.
Yeah, we're off on that one. Yeah, well, this is a bad movie, Phil. Did you not know that?
You gotta be kidding me.
You do not spend a movie setting up other movies, right?
I agree. It's a...
and Marvel learned that with this movie and with Age of Ultron a little bit.
I get where you're coming from. I like seeing, Robert Downey Jr. as a drunk Tony Stark. I think it's kind of fun.
Look, Robert Downey Jr. is a joy to watch in the role, as always, but I don't want to see him peeing in his Iron Man suit.
I think it's funny. I know when he's hungover and he's eating a donut, and that giant donut, Randy's Donuts, that actually made me want to go there, and I went there when I first moved to LA, so okay. Iron Man 2 is a soft spot. Number 4 is Thor. That rhymes fitting.
I know that!
Where does Thor rank on your list?
I have it at number 17.
For me, it's number 16.
It's kind of boring. Like, it's not a terrible movie.
It's all right. I like it for a romantic comedy. I like how they they try their hand in romance.
It's a good Shakespearean tale, and I think they did maybe the best they could adapting a space god with a rainbow bridge. I don't know why everything has to be Dutch tilt. It gives you Loki, though.
It does give you Loki.
It gives you Loki, and that's a big bump.
Yeah. See, the thing about Thor is that I went into that not wanting to watch that movie. I only watched it for the Avengers. So the bar was very low. When the bar's low, it doesn't take much to succeed the bar. And I think that's why I kind of liked it. And there's still a quotable line to this day about that movie, which is another.
Just drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Also in 2011, Captain America, the First Avenger. Where is that for you, Phil? I don't know what that was.
For me, just because Chris Evans is so hunky. No, that's not why. It's number 10. What about you?
I've had it at number 13. It's like that mid-tier of it's not a bad movie, but I don't love it.
I like it. I like it for a historical drama. I think it sets up this character who we're gonna fall in love with down the road. And it's just
at the time,
really innocent, bold, brave character.
When I first watched it, it was weird how Red Skull fit into it, and it just felt kind of silly.
It's definitely a film that when you watch the first time, it may not resonate with you, but when you go back and watch it, you can appreciate it way more.
They did a fantastic job establishing his character.
Yeah.
So I give it props for that, and that's why it's 13.
Number 6, the movie that brought us all together and brought the team together, Joss Whedon's baby, The Avengers. Where is that rank for you?
It's an unprecedented movie, and I think it's very enjoyable, so I put it at number 4.
I put it number 8.
Wow, look at you.
It's a great movie. It's not in my top 5, but it's in my top 10. There's another superhero team-up movie that I like a little bit more than this.
I mean, it's hard
list.
to configure a top 10 from all of these movies, right? Because
Yeah.
how do you compare a movie like Avengers to like one of the solo movies? It's
Yeah.
very hard to do. I have it in my top 5 because I just think when you rewatch this movie, like, man, does it hold up. It really does.
It does.
And I think if it wasn't for the success of Iron Man first and then Avengers, we would not be anywhere near where we are today.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
The balance of these 6 core characters is phenomenal. Like, it's something that's never been done before in cinema. It's changed the game, so it definitely deserves all the recognition.
This was the movie that everyone was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
Okay.
yeah, let's go.
Do it.
Cool. Moving back to solo films, it's the conclusion of a trilogy, Iron Man 3. What'd you think, Phil? Where's it at? How you doing?
Bottom 5, Alex. Number
Yeah?
17.
Oh, I have it at number 15.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not that much better, but I kind of like this movie.
I
It's-
don't.
It's right underneath Captain America, the First Avenger for me, because I think this is where it really starts to go from good but not great to, like, really divisive.
When I don't know much about a hero or a new villain's getting introduced, I do my research because I don't read the comics, right? So when I heard about the Mandarin, I did my research. Found out about the 10 Rings, found out he was his arch enemy. I was really, really stoked, okay? And when I left that theater, I felt duped, bamboozled, betrayed,
You've been
downright
duped.
hoodwinked.
I am the Mandarin!
And if I was simple-minded like you, I would have been able to go in and just watch it and be like, whoa!
Look,
and then left the theater and be like, they got me!
The Mandarin was terrible. It was a bad adaptation. Your expectations play so much into how you experience a movie. Because looking back and seeing some of those trailers, Ben Kingsley would have been a great Mandarin.
You'll never see me coming.
I think it's a good movie, but a bad Iron Man adaptation. But what bothers me is I still think this is a better movie than Iron Man 2, which is why I have a problem with this.
Stop hitting
because
me.
Iron Man 2, you have it ranked above Iron Man 3, and I don't
Yes.
think it's a better movie.
You said that Iron Man 2 is a bad movie and this
It
is a bad adaptation. So to me,
It's a
the
bad-
Iron
it's
Man
the
trilogy...
villain is
No.
adapted poorly.
The Iron Man
So-
trilogy has gone downhill.
But Iron Man 2 has a bad villain too.
Iron Man 2
but
is
Iron
eh.
Man 3
Iron
has
Man
a
3 is
better
eh.
story. It's more focused
Okay.
on his story. He can regrow limbs so he can get the thing out.
There
It's
is
inclusive
some good
to his
takeaways
trilogy.
where you bridge the character from the Avengers and he has PTSD and he's dealing with the consequences of the Avengers. I like that. I like how
that
it's a
too.
Christmas
Some people don't
movie.
like that. Here's hoping that they can do a Logan-esque style Iron Man 4 down the road if he doesn't die in Endgame.
I'm
where
hoping.
they can be Iron Man versus Mandarin. But I think as a whole, this movie is a better movie than Iron Man 2.
That's just like your opinion and that's just my opinion.
None of this is opinion based.
That's just like your opinion, man.
We're done with the Iron Man trilogy, but we have to revisit another character, and that is Thor in Thor the Dark World. And that's
Best one.
the best one.
Number one.
Number one. I'm going to go ahead and say that will never be topped.
Probably the best bad guy in the entire MCU.
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%.
What was his name again?
Little elf ear guy?
Mike. So I have mine at number 21.
Dead last, right?
Dead last.
Mine's not.
Wow, Phil, what's yours at?
20.
You are so frustrating. This is the one that we could have agreed on.
And I'm not even doing it to make you mad. I really actually generally don't like another film more than Thor the Dark World. And let me just explain why I kind of like Thor the Dark World. All right? That Captain America cameo.
That was 5 seconds.
Hey, you want to have a rousing discussion about truth, honor, patriotism? God bless them.
Loki's death really got me.
Loki's death wasn't real, Phil.
I know, but it got me when I was watching it.
But it only was a thing for about 30 minutes. He was undone by the end of the movie.
By the end of the movie,
That's the same movie.
it got me. Like, I really, really felt something right there.
That's not good enough.
No, that's good enough for me.
You better have a damn good argument for
It's-
this one. You should see what this is. You'll see it.
I'm not saying it's great. It's number 20 out of 21. That is not a D+. That's like a D-, all right?
Unacceptable. This needs to be 21 or nothing.
No.
Going back to Captain America, it's Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I don't know why I'm doing that voice again. Where's it rank for you, Phil?
Where does it rank for you?
I have it at number 1.
Not me. Number 2.
Do you get off on this? Just degrading me by 1? All the
No.
time?
Wes here is Just upset over finishing second in the ratings again.
That's completely uncalled for, Burgundy.
The Russo brothers finally take over, and you can tell that they just are fans of the source material, and they really know what they're doing. They take what the MCU has created, and they inject pathos into these characters, raise the emotional stakes so well. The action is amazing, the no choreography. The elevator scene when he's just fighting all the people in that enclosed space. And the twist with the Hydra. Saved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way. If you gave up on that show, jump back on board.
Yeah, I almost gave up,
just,
too.
It made him so cool. Like, no one loved Captain America until that movie.
I agree with you 100%.
Oh.
I'm not gonna fight you. You're my friend.
Steve Rogers refuses to fight Bucky. And it's one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema. It's great writing, it's great build-up, it's great payoff. It's so good. It's a great piece of cinema. I mean, I'm not gonna fight you, Buck. You're my friend. I'm with you to the end of the line. Like, oh my God, that scene will give you goosebumps. But I have a closer connection to another film, which is why it's not number 1. We're gonna move on to film number 10, and we're gonna go to space for Guardians of the Galaxy. Where's that on your list?
Guardians of the Galaxy is number 3 for me.
We're close. It rounds out my top 5 at number 5.
I give this movie major props because it blew the MCU wide open, right? As I said, Iron Man was the quintessential one, and then Avengers was second. I'd say that Guardians of the Galaxy was the third one that we needed to get to where we are now. It was just so out there with the talking tree and raccoon. And after that worked, they're like, okay, let's do a little shrinking man, and let's get a magic man. And
I will admit, I rewatched Guardians 1 to get ready for Guardians 2, and I didn't like it as much. And I was like, what the hell? And I immediately went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I smacked myself unconscious. I was like, I'm wrong, I'm stupid. Because Guardians is great. They literally defeat someone by having a dance-off.
Someday, put it together.
What are you doing?
Dance off, bro.
It's so pure.
Yes,
You're
they do.
Juggling 5 new characters that we've never met before, and James Gunn does a great balance of that. And that's why I think it's a better team-up movie than the Avengers, because it's the first time you're seeing all of them.
I'd agree with that, yeah.
So that's why it's my top 5. It's got a killer soundtrack. I mean,
of course.
There's so much dissect of Guardians that's so good. So it's up there.
What are you doing?
I'm distracting you, you big turd blossom.
Next, the highly anticipated sequel to Avengers comes out.
Let me interrupt
Age of
you there.
Ultron.
I don't even think highly anticipated begins to describe how much hype there was for this movie. I think there was a lot of hype for Infinity War, but for me personally, the hype for Age of Ultron, after seeing the Avengers come together on screen, was just through the roof. I want more. Let's just screw the solo movies. Let's just keep doing team-up movies, right? And Age of Ultron was no bueno.
And it is at what is it at your list?
14.
I had it at number 16. So kind of the middle gobbledygook of bad-ish movies, pretty much. This movie tried something, right? It was too much. It was too much. It was a stepping stone. So it was paying off too much stuff, but it was setting up too much stuff, and it forgot to be its own movie. I have the same problem as Iron Man 2.
Kinda. The way I described it is that, like, you're in Thanksgiving and you go get a little bit of everything, right? And then instead of taking like a little bite, you just shove the plate down your mouth. And you're like, what did I use to?
You have to kind of choose one, right? It's like Civil War chose Captain America. Infinity War chose Thanos. This one was trying to do all of them all at once.
It was.
It was too much.
I mean, a lot got cut. You have love story between Hulk and Black Widow, which felt forced. Thor, all the Thor stuff pretty much got cut. Hawkeye having a farm and a family.
Hawkeye was cool. And Vision was the coolest part.
Vision, there's so much stuff going on.
Vision was shoehorned in this movie, but he was so cool.
He was very cool.
He was the best part of this movie. This was an entertaining movie.
There may be no way to make you trust me, but we need to go.
It was entertaining, it just didn't make narrative sense, and that's why I put it right underneath Iron Man 3. It's where they start to get bad, but at least Iron Man 3 was a good story. Age of Ultron was not paced very well, it was not glued together well.
It stinks because that was the film that broke Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers, though, there's 2 of them, so you break one, you still got another one.
Yeah.
Marvel is smart. Number 12, you know what? This is my favorite MCU film, and I'm not kidding, Ant-Man.
There are 21 movies, Phil. 21! Why is this number 1?
All right, well, where is it on yours, though?
It's number 11.
Number
it
11?
didn't even make my top 10.
All right, listen, all right? It's a guy who puts on a suit and gets superpowers. We've never seen that before. No, I'm just kidding. I know that's Iron Man. Ant-Man's not about saving the world. It's about saving his world. It's about being a better father to his daughter, right? You follow this guy, and he's made so many mistakes. I mean, he literally gets out of prison. It's a hero who's been to prison. You see him grow, and you see him try and right the wrongs that he's made. It's just lighthearted, but also with really real stakes. And it still is a heist movie, right? He's so desperately trying to get out of the game, but he gets roped into it.
My days of breaking into places and stealing shit are done. What do you want me to do?
I want you to break into a place and steal some shit.
Look, I'm the first person to fight for Ant-Man. People are often very dismissive of it. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. Fits in its own little pocket of the MCU with the quantum realm and everything. You should check it out. But I don't know. It's Ant-Man. What are you talking? Okay, look, it's a good movie. I don't think it should be your number one.
It's my favorite.
But maybe 11 is too harsh. The conclusion of another trilogy, Captain America: Civil War. What'd you think, Phil?
I got it at number 13.
Phil!
What?
Why is it at number 13?
I have my reasons.
I have it at number 2.
Oh my god!
I really feel like this is where the MCU finds new footing. Like they find out the formula the Russo brothers know to keep Captain America at the center of this story and have all the other people as ancillary characters. And Captain America...
I don't think the characters are ancillary. I think it's a full-on Iron Man third act. Iron Man literally wants to kill Bucky because he finds out Bucky kills his parents.
Iron Man is the antagonist.
And then Steve Rogers steps in to defend Bucky, and it's like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be watching a Captain America story. Why is Iron Man taking center stage?
Iron Man is an antagonist. It makes sense. He's the best antagonist.
I think he's forced to be the antagonist in this.
I don't feel like it's forced.
I think Civil War should have been its own film. I think Captain America should have gotten a final third film in the trilogy, and I think Civil War should have been its separate entity. All right? Anthony Mackie literally said it's Avengers 2.5. All right? Not Captain America 3.
Sure, maybe they could have done without Spider-Man in that movie.
And Ant-Man and Black Panther.
No, Black Panther was perfect in that movie. He was a perfect part of the story. I think it really feels like a Captain America story. It feels like he's really pushing hard through all of this opposition. And I really feel that. Also, and you can't deny this, 2 things.
What?
I could do this all day. Great throwback.
I could do this all day. I could do this all day.
It's a fantastic throwback.
That whole scene when he's that beam of light when he's
the
shining
imagery
on the shield
is amazing.
I don't think any comic book image has ever been brought to life like that before.
I can't think of one.
2, the airport battle is amazing. We have not seen another thing like that yet.
The airport battle is off the chain. All right, I will say that. All right, I mean, like, it's one thing when, like, you watch them fighting aliens in the Avengers or robots in Age of Ultron, and it's like, all right, there's no real stakes here. But the Civil War airport battle is great. When you see heroes fighting heroes, it's great. I just feel like the sides were chosen just to kind of be thrown into the story. I was maybe too harsh on it, but unfortunately, there's too many other films on this list that I think are better because I value individual stories more than, like, team-up movies.
I think if you watched it again, it wouldn't feel so much
I have
like that.
watched it again, so you're wrong.
Moving on.
Next is Doctor Strange. Where's Doctor Strange for you?
I have Doctor Strange at number 10.
All right, I have it at number 7. Yeah?
I'm a little impartial to Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
You've come to die.
It's messing with time, and I love movies that mess with time. I'm a little bit biased towards that. I mean, it's just like Ant-Man and heist films. Love heist films as well. It's just so cool, and it's such a risk still.
Oh, the magic
Marvel.
is cool, yeah.
Magic is phenomenal. It's such a cool setting.
He's
and
got
like,
the magic hands.
Thank you. People make the comparison to Iron Man about how, you know, like, he's just a cocky, arrogant asshole. But
and he played Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
and he has a goatee.
Yes, but I see some differences in there. He definitely has a different learning curve in Doctor Strange. But just the main thing I want to talk about is the final battle, which isn't even a battle, right?
Oh, when he...
Dormammu, yeah. I've come to bargain.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
He defeats the bad guy just...
by words in his brain.
It's not even... Yeah.
There's, like, no, like, real fight in the final battle. I mean, Marvel literally put out a product where you watch the same thing for 5 minutes, and we all ate it up.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
No.
I agree with you. I just think that in the midst of everything that was coming out in Phase 3, it kind of was forgettable.
I think it got shoved to the side a little bit, but I love Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, Dormammu, Dormammu!
Now we're going full speed ahead with 3 movies a year, starting with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have it at number 12.
Number 21. Dead last. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was never going to live up to the first one.
I agree with you, as it feels kind of like Age of Ultron, where they did the same thing, but not as... That's why I have it at number 12.
But the characters
start to see cracks
are
in the armor.
so stagnant in the second one, all right? The whole movie is just Star-Lord bonding with his father. The characters get sidelined. I mean,
he's
like,
bonding with his father the whole time. It's a movie about fatherhood.
okay, but like this is what took me out of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Is the scene where Yondu sacrificed himself. He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Okay?
That's a great line.
To me, I don't think that line is the best deliverance of that line. And just for example...
Just look at it from a storytelling perspective, okay?
I have
Because he's been trying to find his father his whole life, only to find out in the end that
his father was right in front of him.
He had a father figure right in front of him that actually cared, and then he lost both of them, and that's poetically tragic.
It is poetically
tragic.
That's good
writing.
But one line, one scene, one thing can take you out of it, and that took me out of it.
That scene was amazing.
Oh, come. No! No! Oh, no!
It's very emotional. It even got Rocket. Rocket was crying.
Okay, I know, but still, I just didn't... Did it make you cry?
It feels...
Did you cry?
I was very emotional. It feels like you're being very biased.
I'm not being biased. I went in that unbiased.
I think you need to give it another watch. Mr.
I think...
Grumpy Gills.
Okay. It finally happened. Marvel gets the rights back to its iconic character, Spider-Man. In Spider-Man Homecoming, where's it for you?
It was a joy to see this movie made by Marvel. I had it at number 9 because there's a lot of good movies.
I had it at number 3 because I loved it.
I'm okay with that. Unfortunately, this movie suffered a little bit from Spider-Man fatigue, but if you didn't want to watch this movie, you really should. We flubbed it twice. You might be sympathetic towards Tobey Maguire, but unquestionably, Tom Holland is the best Peter Parker. And he is so much fun to watch. He's funny, he's just a child, he's figuring it out, and it's great, and I loved seeing Tony Stark as a mentor. So fantastic. I like this movie a lot.
How'd you find me? Did you put a tracker in my suit or something?
I put everything in your suit, including this heater.
Whoa.
It's a real fun time to watch.
It's such a joy. Michael Keaton as the Vulture is great. The villain twist, him dating the daughter, it's just so phenomenal. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, Michael Keaton in his third bird-based role. Yeah.
Yep, no, it's a kid taking the responsibility of an adult and fighting a battle that's larger than his life. And, I mean, what can you ask for more?
He takes on that responsibility because he has great power. I can absolutely see why you would put this as number 3. I have it as number 9 because I feel like it faded a little bit into the activity of Phase 3. There's a lot
I'll give you that.
I remember it more than Doctor Strange, so that's why I have it just one above on 9. But I really do like this movie.
It's a fun one.
And if you avoided this movie because of Spider-Man fatigue, I urge you to give it a shot. We're closing out our third major characters trilogy, and that is Thor Ragnarok. What'd you think, Phil?
I liked it. I got it at number 9.
I had number 8.
Hey! Let's do Get Help.
No, I don't want to do Get
Help! My co-host is dying!
They finally figured out Thor. It's supposed to be crazy space acid trip opera thing. The Hulk's reappearance in this movie was so great, especially because Loki had not seen him since Avengers. I could not get enough of that. I need to get off this planet. Oh my god.
It's so...
Another thing I couldn't get enough of was Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah. I mean, whose idea was it to cast Jeff Goldblum as Jeff Goldblum?
I don't know, but that person deserves a raise, and I don't know why everybody else doesn't do it all the time in every movie.
Oh, 100%.
Everywhere.
I woke up this morning thinking about a public execution. For now, I'll settle for this sweet little, who's gonna get him first?
I can't say enough about this movie. I really enjoy it. It's just a downright comedy.
He's phenomenal.
He's just a little rock, paper, scissors joke for you.
It's such a funny movie. The best thing is that the subject matter is so serious. Thor and Loki's father dies. They lose their home. Their sister betrays them. It's like a punch on the cheek and the other cheek and then right in the chin.
With a couple laughs in between.
And like the way it's delivered though is so funny, and I don't feel like you miss out on those beats entirely. I feel like you get
Yeah.
just what's the right balance of it. So it's a great film.
It's perfect conclusion to his trilogy.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's amazing what Taika Waititi accomplished, given a big budget. I would love to watch this right now. You want to watch this right now?
Let's watch it right now.
Let's go.
Our next film was Black Panther, and we actually have a review of that on our channel. It was our first video together.
Yes, for the Oscars.
Yeah, you should go check that out. We're awkward in it, but we're fun-loving awkward
We are,
kids. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So where do you have that on your list?
I have it at number 7.
I have it at number 12, so there's some differences here.
I really think this is one of Marvel's biggest accomplishments. I do think the story of it kind of blended into me with other Phase 3 movies like Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming, Doctor Strange. As I said before, there's a lot going on in Phase 3. However, the culture that they were able to display in this movie and bring to a mass audience and have appeal to them, I really enjoyed this movie. And for that reason, it bumps up just above those other movies. That's why it's number 7 for me.
One more word, and I will feed you to my children. I'm kidding, we are vegetarians.
Just talking about Killmonger for a second, he is so compelling as a villain, and I think he kind of makes that film more than what Black Panther does, but it's still exciting, it's still enjoyable, and to watch that world of Wakanda play out, it's so immersive. Let's just talk about that last line, death is better than bondage. That's a phenomenal line.
I really think that that's the best line in the MCU. Kevin Feige himself said it was
that
the best line he
line
ever read. And
yeah,
he said, I don't care what you do, but don't get rid of this line.
Yeah, and that tells you
that
something.
gives me chills.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's up there for me.
Goosebumps.
Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Next up is a doozy. We've got Infinity War.
Part 1.
Well, okay.
Technicality.
I've got it at number 6. What do you think?
Got it smack dab in the middle, number 11.
Oof. Explain yourself.
Infinity War is smack dab in the middle, number 11. It's not good, nor is it bad.
How can you be so passive about Infinity War?
It's a great payoff of 18 films leading up to that point, but it still feels like part 1 of a 2-part movie.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it does kind of feel like 2.5 hours of the first half of a third act.
See, that's a mouthful.
I give you that, but how do you rank Infinity War? It's so crazy and out there. It's a completely different animal.
Magic! More magic! Magic with a kick! Magic with a...
I mean, look, I think the approach of focusing on Thanos and Thanos alone is a very interesting one.
I think that's very commendable that they were able to tell Thanos' story in the middle of all of that. But it's almost not even a movie. It's almost more of just an experience, right?
Yeah, no, I mean...
How can you not walk out of that theater just mesmerized?
I was speechless. I was up for like 3 hours contemplating life after I saw that. And I mean, I thought about waiting until Endgame got released so I can watch them back to back, but the internet
would not have made it
the
that
internet
long.
and society would have spoiled it for me.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
Infinity War doesn't hit the marks for me because I know those characters are pretty much going to be coming back.
Not all of them, though. Like, yes, but
yeah.
I don't know if Gamora's coming back. I don't know if Loki's coming back.
No, I have my doubts on them, but I just think the general consensus will be that most of them do come back, like Spider-Man.
The rest of it is shock factor for sure.
Yeah, because, I mean, even if you don't read into the picture deals that these actors sign, and they've kind of gotten quieter about it, but you know Spider-Man's got a 5-picture deal. You know he's got more films to come out, and they're pretty much going to take place after Infinity War.
That's
Maybe
true.
I'm wrong, but I think Marvel shot themselves in the foot with announcing all the films too early, which is why they retroactively said, no, Infinity War is not part 1, part 2, it's a separate thing, and then there's Endgame. You can't rank Infinity War until you see Endgame, and then you could truly rank Infinity War.
That's fair.
How do you follow up the biggest blockbuster of all time? Ant-Man and the Wasp, of course.
Oh, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Where's that on your list?
I put it at number 14.
Number 6.
Oh my god. I don't understand your obsession with Ant-Man. It really let us down on the team-up aspect, right? It could have been the two of them the whole time not getting along and then getting along and adapting each other's ways, right? Like, you love that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
I
the
do.
Unlikely relationship. The end of this movie, Ant-Man and Hope Van Dyne are in the same spot as they were at the end of the first Ant-Man. I don't think they progressed at all.
I think if there's a third Ant-Man film, they will truly be a team at that point, which I'm interested to see, personally.
That
you
should
needed
have
this
been
movie
this
to
movie.
grow.
This was called
No.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
It's a fun film, and it delivers on a lot of stuff that you don't expect it to.
I don't think it delivered on a lot of stuff. I think it's just a fun film.
I think the villain is definitely not the best.
I don't remember her name. I don't even remember who played her. You have Lawrence Fishburne and Walton Goggins, and they're both completely wasted. I don't even know why Walton Goggins is in it.
Walton Goggins,
they just populated with a couple characters so that they can play hot potato with this laboratory.
But it's just fun. You see, Paul Rudd as Scott Lang just throwing cards out of his mouth, and he's just doing magic throughout the whole movie. It's just so enjoyable.
I enjoy watching an ant play the drum set as much as the next guy. But this movie was a mess of a story.
I don't think it was.
It didn't do anything for me other than it was just fun. That's all.
I think it was fun, and that's good enough for me.
And now, finally, we have arrived at this year's Captain Marvel. Where do you rank Captain Marvel, Phil?
Number 18.
I have it at number 19.
Wow, we are in agreement almost.
Yeah, we are. What happened? They were doing so good. We were all up in our top 10s.
Phase 3 was phenomenal.
It was, and I really think that this is just a rare misstep for Marvel. I'm really surprised late in the game.
The weird thing is, too, Captain Marvel as a character fails, but as a film itself, there's some great supporting elements. Nick Fury, Phil Coulson, the 90s, the Skrulls.
Yeah, absolutely. It fell in a period of time when the MCU, they had a lot that they could pay off and then set up. Right, it was tying a lot of stuff together.
Yeah,
and it didn't feel like Age of Ultron or Iron Man 2, where that felt like obligation. It felt more like foundation.
Yeah,
but Captain Marvel, I've never seen Marvel fail their main character. They forgot to do a main character, Phil.
No, even I know.
Your turn. Prove you're not a Skrull.
Even in the films that we consider, or most people consider, more poor than the other MCU films, like Iron Man 2 and Thor 2, those still have an interesting, compelling character to watch.
They have strong leads.
We have a review about Captain Marvel, and we have an agree or disagree segment on Captain Marvel on our channel, so we have 2 videos dedicated to that.
There you have it. All 21 years, 11 movies.
What?
I'm delirious.
I don't know what he's talking about. There's only 21 movies in 11 years, but we did it. We ranked all the MCU films. We don't agree on any of them.
Not a single one.
But we hashed it out, and what we can agree on is that we are both excited for...
We're excited.
How could you not be excited? It's Avengers Endgame! It's gonna be phenomenal! Everyone's gonna die, like, for real!
So after you see the movie, come back and check out our channel. We're gonna have an agree or disagree segment up as soon as we can after we see the movie. Check out our channel. We have a bunch of those segments up.
Oh yeah,
Agree
one for
disagree
Captain Marvel, one for Shazam.
We do it every week. We have
except for this
ones.
week, because there was no good movies.
That's right, and we have a bunch of other content. It's a good channel, so be sure to like and subscribe, or don't because you have free will.
That's my line.
Ring that bell so you catch that video next week, and that'll be it for this.
Bye!
That's my